I'd like to show you an example that comes up quite a bit. We're going to do something that's called the percent of change. So in this case, I'm going to go to a different sheet. Let's go to sheet 6. And you can see how I have the 2015 totals and the 2016 totals. And now down here, if I wanted to get rid of those totals, I can just get rid of those by deleting them. Now there, I would just do an Autosum. So I'll pick on the home menu, and I'll pick on Autosum right there. And you can see that's going to sum up that column. Now in this case, I don't want to include 2015, so I'm glad I saw that. I actually want to go from C3 to C9. So if the Autosum gives you a different range than what you want to use, then you can just highlight your own range before you hit the Enter key. Good. So now at this point, I'll just copy it over with the speed fill, and now I have the column total for both of those as well. Now let's see how we can get the difference and then the percent of difference. The difference is just going to be equals this number D3 minus C3 equals D3 minus C3, and then we'll have the difference there. Now, of course, I'm going to go ahead and get the black cross and drag it right on down. Now, there's even a negative number. You can tell it's a negative number because negative numbers will show up in red or in parentheses. And you can see we have a negative number there. And that makes sense. 2014 had a total of 14,000 and 2016 had a total of 12,000. So actually it went down by 2,000. So all I did there was I said equals D3 minus C3. Now, to get the percent of change, we're going to take this number and divide it by the first total. Some people will divide it by the second total, but that's not really correct. To get the percent of change, I want to take the difference and divide it by the first number. So I'm going to say equals this number divided by the original total. E3 divided by C3. And now I have that column already formatted as a percent. So if you do that and it's formatted like a decimal, then you would just change that to be formatted as a percent. And now I'm just going to copy that down. And now we have the percent of change for each one. And obviously that one has a negative change. Now notice how both of these numbers are the same in the accounting department. So their difference was 0 and the percent of change was 0. So to calculate the percent of change, first of all, we had to get the difference. So I took, if you notice the formula says D3 minus C3. And then once I had that, I took the difference and divided it by C3. So it says equals E3 divided by C3. So that's a real life example that's called a percent of change.